Okay, so hi, I'm Jill. As Richard mentioned, I'm the country head for CGI Philippines. I've been in this role for a little over 3 years, but I've been working in the IT industry for close to 25 years now. So I'm not going to pause and let you calculate my age. You'd think with my position, speaking in a forum like this would be like business as usual. But when Richard first invited me to speak, and shared the list of very esteemed co-speakers, I panicked. Like I'm more comfortable talking about technical topics or even presenting to clients rather than talking about myself and my journey. So it has been a real challenge and struggle. So in fact, if you ask any of my old classmates in school, they probably wouldn't imagine the same timid young girl as myself who hardly recited in class, except when asked. um, you cannot imagine how I've changed since then. And that actually made me realize that I had more experience than I initially thought, on the theme for today's forum, which is what doesn't challenge you doesn't change you. So I hope in the next few minutes or so, allow me to share some of my personal learnings. Firstly, ride the wave. Imagine yourself as a surfer and challenges as a high wave. You don't become a champion surfer by surfing a tiny wave. So you can treat those challenges as opportunities. The wave is the challenge. Working in a global company, I'm required to go to clients to present our services, and would like to share with you one experience. During one of our phone meetings, a colleague from another country said, hey, why don't we invite that lady from the Philippines to present to the client so that we can score some diversity points since the client is big on diversity. He didn't realize that I was already in the meeting. So, but I just blurted out, are you talking about me? I'm here. So instead of being offended that I was only considered because of my gender, I took it as a challenge and made sure that I prepared and showed them that I do deserve a seat at the table. It wasn't always successful. Like during my first few client presentations, I was really overwhelmed. Majority of the people in the meeting were tall, senior white men, and there I was, a small Filipino woman trying to keep up. But the first few presentations wasn't always successful. The first few presentations were cringe-worthy and have been very difficult. We had very difficult clients, but each one made me stronger and better for the next time. So yeah, that's my first tip to you. Secondly, learn to adapt. Up to high school, I lived a very sheltered life, studying in a Catholic co-ed school and riding a bus to and from school, having interactions only with students who have similar background as I have. I went away for college and studied in UP Los Baños. This is where I got exposed to people from all walks of life, like from different provinces, social backgrounds, and different upbringing. So further on, my first job was with San Miguel Beer. um, it entailed going to different sales offices all over the country, teaching drivers, warehouse personnel, salesmen how to use the IT systems and the old mobile devices at the time. So, uh, uh, in order to get the job done, you really have to learn to speak their language. We sometimes had to live in remote places. You know, the toilet is outside, like in an outhouse, but you have to adapt. And these experiences have actually helped me become more flexible and adaptable, and was very useful when our company, Logica, then was acquired by CGI a few years ago. So those who survived the acquisition are those who willingly accepted and adapted to the new culture of the company. Thirdly, Nike's slogan is just do it. I say just do it well. When you're in IT, you always want to be assigned to the most exciting projects because it would enhance your skills and eventually advance your career. However, it is always the decision of the project manager on who will be part of the team or the project. During that time, instead of being assigned to highly technical projects, um, I keep getting assigned non-IT tasks like planning the office party, rearranging the seat assignments, and so on. But I do believe that it's not about the task, but how you do it that matters. It's the doing well part that should be your challenge. Remember that viral elevator operator who was accepting song requests and cheerfully bringing people to their floors? So that's who we should emulate. It's not the task. Anyway, back to my own story. Because I always did a good job, no matter what the task is, one of the bosses noticed me and pirated me when he left for a bigger company. He hired me for attitude, not skills, and my career took off from there. Fourth, um, know what you don't know. So one of the hot skills during my time is an enterprise software called SAP. So the training for one module in SAP could go from 500,000, the cost 500,000 up to a 1 million pesos. So you can imagine the investment required in order to gain this skill. So naturally, everybody in our industry wanted to have hands-on training in SAP as you would able to command a higher salary. I kept on applying for these roles, but keep getting rejected. Finally, I found an opening to be a technical writer for an SAP user manual. So documentation is one of the tasks that programmers really hate. So nobody wanted the role. I took the job in order to get close to the SAP team, and after work, I did self-study my SAP programming since I had all of the materials and had all of the access from the team. So when there was an opening to be a programmer, I was able to hit the ground running. I had to juggle both roles for a time, being a technical writer and a programmer, but eventually I became a permanent part of the SAP team. And as Richard mentioned, it became my core competency. So you never stop learning. Lastly, you won't always be the best and the brightest, but that's okay. Just because you're the boss doesn't mean you're the smartest person and the best at everything. So after years of being an individual contributor, um, in Logica then, I was being prodded to do a staff management role. But because I had the notion at the time that I had to be the best at everything before I can manage people, I had to best them, I kept on declining the role. It was only when I realized that you don't have to be the best to be a leader, but you need to be able to work through others and maximize their strengths. So you and your team would be better prepared to navigate challenges. Basically, you're not alone. And actually, that's it. I hope that you were able to learn something, and if I'm able to help even just one person, then this forum is successful.